Welcome to this edition of Making a Difference. I'm Craig Coogan, and today we are in Woodside, California, near Palo Alto. We want to acknowledge the great work of the National Center for Equine Facilitated Therapy. We all should be impressed with the breakthroughs they are creating for children, adults, and especially dear to me, our wounded warriors. Executive Director Gary Morandino gave us an overview of the origins of hippotherapy.
It's hippo from the Greek word for horse, and it's actually been around since the Greek times. And they used to put wounded warriors on their horses to limber up their bodies and strengthen their core and so on. It's been used in Europe for years, and it was brought to the U.S. in the late 60s, early 70s. And it's about that time that our founder, Barb Heine, who was a physical therapist and also an equestrian, decided to start using hippotherapy to treat some of the local people in the area. So what we're doing is, it's not teaching somebody to ride a horse. What it's doing is using the horse's movement to create movement in a patient.
Program Director Chris Swan explained how this therapy augments traditional physical therapy.
Hippotherapy is a really concentrated form, high repetition and high core strength work. So it's a lot of work in a short amount of time, and you get a lot of practice. It's like essentially walking 3 football fields in a half an hour.
The National Center for Equine Facilitated Therapy had a major challenge. How do you physically lift an adult or a child from their wheelchair and safely get them mounted? As a mobility design solutions expert, it was really quite simple. Based on over 15 years of experience working with disability facilities and clients, we designed this lift which safely and easily lifts the rider directly from their wheelchair and mounts them without alarming the horse.
When we first moved to this facility back in 2007, we recognized that in some instances, because we were dealing with these veterans and some adults, we really didn't have the ability to lift them onto a horse. We had to have an opportunity to get a safe way to lift these men and women out of their chairs, move them over the top of the horse, and then lower them back onto the horse. And so when we did our research, we found the SureHands lift, and it was, works with an electric motor. It's something we could use outside, and it was something that was lightweight, and anybody, whether it was a staff person or a volunteer, could actually hook this thing up and use it. Because the people we see, many of them actually can use a walker or they can use crutches, but if they're in a wheelchair, we don't really have any way to get them in and onto a horse other than to pick them up out of the wheelchair, and this gives us that ability to do that. And at the end of the day, we don't just use it for veterans, we use it for our regular patients, our heavier adults, our children that are in teens. Once again, I think you have to kind of get outside of what you know and experience that. So we're not a high-tech industry by all means, but we do need to look for technology sometimes to be able to make us more effective.
In conclusion, we of Lift and Transfer Specialists commend Gary Morandino, his staff, and his team of volunteers for their work, and encourage you to learn more about them through a personal visit to their facility or to their website. Our mission here is to create mobility design solutions for facilities, schools, and individuals, and we're honored to serve all of their needs. Till next time, I'm Craig Coogan.